And we are live and in color. So, how y'all doing? Welcome to WWE2K23 My Rise. Part 1. We'll see how many parts I can get in. Now, just to quickly show and give a little bit of context, I guess. The gameplay here is set to hard. Now, I used to be able to play this, I think, on 2K19 and 2K22 of this past year. I was able to play the game on Legend, which is the hardest difficulty that it can go to in the game. Just for example, right there's easy, normal, hard, and Legend. I was able to play this on Legend for the last 3-4 installments, mostly on 2K19 and 22 because I was getting more better at playing on the Legend difficulty. For some reason, this game is a lot tougher on Legend. Hence why I've put it down to hard. Because I was playing through the showcase mode and I was struggling to get through showcase mode. Absolutely struggling. So I had to knock it down to normal just to get through it, because I really don't care about showcase mode. I just wanted to unlock all of the unlockables, like the extra playable wrestlers, the extra championship belts, the extra arenas. Just wanted to unlock everything and get it over and done with. I have never been a big fan of the showcase mode, hence why I'm not going to be playing it for a live stream. Just got it over and done with, and it wasn't... I did set that... Yeah, I set that hard. I just don't find it exciting. It's just boring. It's uninteresting. Playing through someone's career highlights, if I wanted to do that, I could just go on YouTube and watch the highlights. There's no reason for me to play through it when it's so unexcitingly to watch, because most of the showcase is just watching live footage and very little gameplay. Because when it goes into a cutscene, you get about 5 seconds of the in-game character models fighting before it transitions to real life footage, which is a cool transition, but it's just boring to watch the match back when I could have just gone and done that on YouTube. There is no real reason to have this as a showcase mode. I would say to 2K, put your money somewhere else. But anyway, this is the first time playing My Rise. Haven't touched it yet, haven't even looked at it, been trying to avoid... sorry, one moment. I've been trying to avoid spoilers for My Rise because I don't want to see what happens. I want to experience it fully. There is 2 different story modes. One is called The Lock and one is called The Legacy. The Lock focuses on the male superstar, WWE superstar side of story, and I was waiting for that message to come through. And the Legacy focuses on the female side of the story mode. So I'll be playing, obviously, the male story first, because I always create myself in this game. And before anyone sees my character and thinks, that looks nothing like you, yes, I know it doesn't look anything like me. It's an over-exaggerated version of me. I do it with every video game. I create an exaggerated version myself, and I just pretend it's a multiverse of me. Think Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I imagine that I am in different universes. I'm in the WWE universe. I'm in the Mass Effect universe. I'm in the Saints Row universe. And every character I create looks nothing like me. Just an over-exaggerated version of me. Where was I in my thought process? Oh yeah, so I've created myself already in the game. I have already made my entrance. I took ages sorting out my moveset. I think I need to go back through my moveset again, but I'm happy with what it is right now. I even made myself a little video thing. It's not much, it's just my name. I do want to try and get around to creating a proper video package for when my guy comes out the entrance ramp. Because this is going to be a video, and I might cut this intro bit out beginning. Let's try and go for a YouTube type intro. So, 3, 2, 1. Welcome. Damn it. Nah. I don't know what it is. I look at the camera and it's like, oh no, gotta say words. I used to be a lot better at that. Back in my college days, I could actually get in front of an audience and actually perform. Just give me a script, give me an hour to prepare. I will happily perform for 100+ people. Just tell me to present to people naturally. I will screw it up. I will proper screw it up. But anyway. Welcome to WWE2K23 My Rise. This is the first time I will be playing this, the first time I'll be trying this out. I have not seen much of it. I've tried to avoid spoilers. And today we are officially giving this a go. Bit late. This whole intro is a mess. It's absolutely a mess. I should have just... I should have prepared a bit better. Look, it's 15 minutes in now. Let's just stop messing about. Let's just get into it. Okay, welcome to My Rise. Between the Lock and the Legacy My Rise stories, you have 10 save slots available. Both the Lock and the Legacy have pivotal choices that you can send down distinct pathways. Try playing each story multiple times to experience different outcomes. Ah. Okay. So this is completely different to last year, because last year, if you chose, you had a choice between different styles. So you could have debuted in the WWE as an indie wrestler, as a former MMA fighter, a former actor. I think there was a fourth one, I can't remember. But you could choose a different profession to, I think, oh, now I remember, it was like a football player. Or for Americans, football player, but in English terms, rugby player, just to get that clear. But you could come in as somebody with a different background, someone who is either experienced in wrestling or someone who's not experienced in wrestling and is training to be a wrestler for the first time. The only thing that affected was it would just give you a certain story with a certain wrestler to play out, depending on your background. It really had no effect on any of the story. So this sounds like this game could take you in different directions based off choices and based off your wins and losses. So that's pretty cool, actually. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe I won't just do the Lock and the Legacy. Maybe I'll do another video and see what kind of different choices there are. Or maybe I'll just play it in my own time. Got to leave something for yourself in your own spare time. Hey, you can't always play games for YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. Anyway, importing characters. Okay, this is something that people have been asking for since, I want to say, 2019, because you'd create your character, but you then go into the story mode of My Rise, or whatever it used to be called back then, like, I guess career mode it used to be called. You couldn't import the wrestler you created into career mode. You had to recreate the wrestler all over again, and it was a pain in the arse. I think one of the years you were able to create the wrestler within career mode and then import them to the main game, but then for some reason they took that out, so you were basically just recreating the wrestler twice. So this is good. I'm actually glad that they've imported this back into the game, so now you can just create the wrestler and just put them straight in there. So this year you can port characters created in Create a Superstar into My Rise. To import a character, move over an empty save slot and push RB to select a Create a Superstar. Character to import. Please note that this character's overall will not be imported. Okay. So my starting overall won't be what I set it up as when I created the wrestler. I'd practically be starting from the bottom and having to work my way up. Makes sense. But that makes me wonder, does my move set change? And would I have to then go back into my move sets and that's going to be annoying if they've done that again, where they lock certain items and move sets behind like a purchase wall, basically. So this is me. Now, if I was a wrestler, my gimmick would be like the Punisher of wrestling. Because I'd imagine it as for the character to be sort of like a similar thing to a Pete Dunne from WWE or Hook from AEW. I imagine it like, to be the very silent, brooding type. Doesn't say much, but once he gets in the ring, actions the actions speak for itself. So I imagine for my character it would just be getting in there and being this silent type that just takes out the opponents with hard hitting moves and really wanting to inflict some damage. Would I get on the microphone and still speak? But that's how I'd imagine it. A way I'd like to debut in wrestling is would love it to be just sat in a crowd and I'm just cheering and applauding along with everybody. And then it's like there's this advertised match of a wrestler on the roster who's taking on a new debuting mystery opponent. And the wrestler's like, well, where's my opponent? I've not seen them anywhere all day. And they're looking up the ramp, wondering where they are, and going, come on down if you're brave enough to fight me, sort of thing. And then, because I'm in the crowd, I would then jump over the barricade, slide in the ring, and surprise attack the opponent. That's how I'd imagine debuting in a wrestling ring. I think my time has passed to be a wrestler, because I actually wanted to be a wrestler years ago when I was younger. Around 14, I think I wanted to become a wrestler, and I kind of got talked out of it, and I never thought about it again. And then years later, I keep thinking about wanting to do it. But then I just keep thinking as my time passed, because I'm now going to be 28. I wouldn't be able to do much now. I'm not even sure if my body could handle the physicality of it all. 'Cause even if you can say, oh, wrestling's all scripted and fake, some of the physical stuff they have to do, that must really hurt. Because you're being chucked about, you're being slammed down. Some people jump off ladders, and you can't tell me that stuff's fake. I would love to do it. If there was a training school near where I was for wrestling, I'd go and sign up and try it out. But I've never been able to find anywhere close to me. That's always been a thought in the back of my mind of how I would like to train, not train, how I like to debut as a wrestler. For any, not for the main promotions like WWE, just any promotion. I don't think it would work though, because if people don't know you, it's like doing something like that, like coming out the crowd and attacking a wrestler. That's shock value, but I think it only works if people know you well enough. But if people know you too well, the element of surprise is taken away, because people know who you are when you're sat in the audience. So I don't know if an idea like that would work, but it's a cool little fantasy booking of mine. But as dumb as it is, the gimmick would be just the Punisher of wrestling. I don't even think that I'd get away with that, because there'd probably be some copyright claims facing. I don't know, it's just dumb. Like I'm not physically intimidating in any aspect, but playing a character, that's what it's all about, right? You're playing a character, you're playing someone who's not you, and that's something that's always drawn me towards wrestling, because I love acting, and wrestling is just another version of acting. Oh. Undertaker. The luck. That just sounds so dumb. I am the luck. Like, that's a bit dumb in my opinion. But oh, really jumping straight into it.
I am so close to having this title renamed in my honor. Can you imagine? The Sammy Continental Championship has a nice ring to it, if you ask me. All I have to do is defend it tonight, and WWE will have no choice but to give in to popular demand and make the change. I have no idea who I'm facing, but it doesn't matter. I am going to beat whoever it is, and you will never, ever see the Intercontinental Championship again.
Wait a second. Is this finally happening?
We've been seeing and hearing about this person for weeks. Could this be the long-awaited debut of The Lock?
I'm not sure what or who else it could be.
This is just so dumb.
The Lock has arrived.
And apparently The Lock is
That's
Sammy's
not the
mystery
attire.
challenger.
Well, Sammy's
That's
big
not my
ideas on
attire.
rechristening his
What
title
am I
the
wearing?
Continental Championship could be changing quickly. We've heard The Lock is a
What
future
is that?
champion, and we might not have to wait long for that to come true.
This superstar has made a name for himself all around the
Well,
world.
there's
If you
a
ask
reason I
me,
don't put
he
trunks
looks like
on
he fits
anymore
right
when I
in
create my
here
character.
in WWE.
I agree. He's got the
Prefer
flashy
tight.
debut, the pyro and all, but now it's time
I
to
think
see
it's just
if he
I
can
don't
deliver
think I
in
ever
the
have the
ring
legs
against
for
the
it.
veteran competitor in Sami Zayn. Sami might have the experience edge, but he was caught off guard here tonight. So I'd actually give the advantage to The Lock. You might have a point, Saxton. Sami
The
Zayn
build-up
looks like
does
he's
not
had a team to go
match
through
my
this
presence.
match.
I
Should.
don't
I
look.
blame him.
That's
Can The
incredible.
Lock live up to all the hype? We're about to find out.
Imagine that debuting on your first night and you get an Intercontinental Championship match. I mean, a few people have done it. Like, the only person I can remember doing it is Santi
Ladies and
Morella.
gentlemen,
Oh, here we
The
go.
Lock's long-awaited debut is happening right
Form
now.
combo.
Look at it,
Okay.
And what
I
a
think I
way
just
to
did that.
kick things off as
Yes, I just did that.
Sami
Awesome.
Zayn's challenger for the
That's my next performer
Intercontinental
reversal.
Championship.
Really?
There's been a lot of
Can I
talk
not
about
just
how
beat the guy
Lock's
up?
going to change the game in WWE,
I'll
but
just
I'll
beat him
believe
up
it when I
until
see
the
it.
opportunity
Time to
presents
see if he's
itself.
ready to deliver the goods.
So remember, this is hard difficulty. Not legend difficulty,
Able to
not
get the
easy.
advantage here.
This is hard difficulty.
slamming
And
that
you will
face
see
start.
you will slowly see the frustration come out of me because I've had issues with damn it, I have had issues with reversals in this
Sami Zayn
game.
is letting his opponent know exactly what he thinks of him.
And some effective
There you go. Right, I'm pausing it for a second because
offense with
no,
that.
actually I can read that in the corner. Perform a heavy grapple
Setting it up.
as anything
Thunderous
is from the
clothesline.
corner
The
position.
champ trying
Okay.
to roll with these hits.
He planned for this and can still rally.
Oop. Okay. You need to go in the corner now, Sammy. Need you in that corner, buddy.
Placed to the corner.
Oh, look at this, raining right hands. Non-stop blows.
And Lock got turned around there.
Hang on. Oh, a grapple. Right, I did that
Reversal on
wrong.
top of reversal. These two trading counters, an absolute
That's the Jimmy
masterclass.
go. I said I was going to try and not swear because it's going on YouTube, and what do I immediately do?
As
That's
if
it.
Sammy
Good. Roll
couldn't be
that
any
wrong.
more
Roll it wrong.
annoying.
Let's take a
Here we
breather.
go.
Oh! You missed.
Was playing with fire and getting burned.
Your knees.
The decision to take such a
Alright.
risk at this juncture is questionable.
Back in the ring. Not you.
Foot
On the apron. Whoa, what a landing.
That kind of worked in my favour, but I desperately need you back in the ring.
and now thrown back into the ring.
In the corner. Yes, in the corner. Not, no. That's not a
The
corner, is
effects
it?
of this match are showing on the champ.
Yeah, Cole, but at this point in the match, you still
Right,
haven't
try the other
lost the
corner.
edge.
You
He's
went in
one
there.
step ahead
Oh.
there. And misses on the springboard.
That was a Samoa Joe. Just walk away. I love watching compilations of Samoa Joe where people try to do like springboards off the ropes and stuff, and he just casually walks off. Or opponent's on. Okay. These tasks are easy. Lock Sammy down with your finisher. Okay.
And his eyes are piercing through the
Can I do a suicide dive?
Look at this! Oh, just completely off target.
Not exactly. I don't remember applying that as one of my moves there.
Was trying to find a way to attack, but completely wiped out.
What's he got planned for him?
I haven't got a finisher built up. What?
For the win!
Oh, and quick resiliency from the challenger.
Still in it. What a gutsy performance.
A timely counter by Locke.
Ooh, there we go. Signature.
Golden Slam GTS! Night,
You know what? I'm gonna hit him with a spear.
Desperate attempt here to get
Get
back on
your
his
ass
feet.
up, Sammy. Gonna finish this.
The title might change hands.
Win the match by pinfall. Okay.
Try and end it.
He's gonna kick out.
The Lock is indeed lived up to the
I was expecting him to kick out.
Intercontinental Championship in his WWE debut.
Maybe I can turn up to the
Unbelievable
Rumble.
night here on Raw. Not many superstars can say
I
they
was-
captured
maybe it was just the showcase
championship
mode.
gold their first night on the job.
We heard so much about this superstar. How he was the
But
next
yes,
big
first
thing,
night,
a future
successful,
world champion.
winning the
So
Intercontinental
far, I
Championship
have
on my first
every
night.
reason to believe those are true statements.
I'm just glad we won't have to see the Sammy Continental Championship.
Me too, Byron.
Nice.
I think we all owe the Lock a thank you for that.
Hold up, Sami Zayn
Oh,
from behind.
there we go.
Oh,
Sam's not
apparently
happy.
This isn't over.
The Lock ducks and he nails him.
Sami goes head first into the side
That's
of
it,
the
get
safe.
in.
Wait, what's he doing?
I think the Lock's going to
That's it.
lock up
Lock him in
Sami.
there.
Yes,
Let's lock him
do
in
it.
there.
Into the safe.
We might never have to see Sami again.
Thank you.
Imagine, right? You just forget the combination. You forget the combination, and no one can open it.
And the safe goes crashing down. With
Incredible
Sami
strength
inside.
to push that over.
Night just keeps getting better.
Especially with a man inside it.
Your new Intercontinental
Look at
Champion,
that.
The Lock.
What a debut.
What a debut indeed. That is a nice way to start off a career in WWE. 5 hours earlier. One sec. Glorious. I will defend, I won't give in till I'm victorious. I will defend, I will defend. Now, I have no idea if the music's playing. Because I know... I think with WWE games, they have it set up so that when you're streaming it, the music doesn't play. Not an idea. No idea if that's the case for this. But right now I'm listening to Bobby Roode's Glorious theme song, which... Nice. Anyway. Let's move on to the next cutscene or match. So we've had a good start, but what happened 5 hours earlier then that led up to this?
There he is.
Crap.
Ready for your big Raw debut tonight?
Yeah, can't wait to get out there.
Good. We can't wait either. This has been a long time coming, and you've earned it.
Thanks. Hey, what's up with the camera? She's been following me around since I got here.
Oh, talent relations didn't tell you? It's for this documentary thing they're shooting on you.
Just
Sorry, I'm terrible with names. It's Kat,
missing
right?
this.
Yep, Cat with a K, K-A-T. Sorry I didn't introduce myself earlier, but when I'm shooting these, I gotta be a fly on a wall.
You're going to be seeing a lot of Kat over the next year. Gotta document the rise of the next big thing. The future world champion. The Lock.
Woot woot! Sorry, fly on a wall.
I've been meaning
I
to
love Kat
talk to
already.
you about that whole The Lock thing, by the way. Can I just use the name I've used my entire carear? I mean,
darker than
that's how
that.
the rest of the world knows me.
Yeah,
I'll change that.
but that's not how the WWE Universe knows you. We can't assume they've seen any of your matches before this.
I think a lot of people have. Isn't that how WWE found me?
Look, this is typical for superstars who come up outside the system. WWE likes to put their spin on things, and 99% of the time, it's a huge improvement.
Okay, but doesn't the name sound too much like The Rock?
It sort of does.
That's what I thought.
Do you mind? Think of this as a new and improved version of yourself. We have a proven track record with this sort of thing. You just need to trust the process.
Is
Trust
that
the
what you're
process.
required to say now that you're office?
No. Corporate requires me to say and do a lot of things, but that's not one of them.
I don't know. It feels restrictive. I just want to be myself.
I hear you, but it's not just a nickname. The entire WWE machine is behind this. We have a huge entrance planned with pyro, a championship opportunity, new gear. They're shooting this whole documentary about you. And we got this for you too. Get it? A lock?
Wow.
Is that left over from John Cena's Chain Gang days?
Maybe.
Thought
Things
so.
worked out okay for him, didn't
It
they?
looked familiar.
Guess so.
I gotta run. But I promise, this is gonna be fine. Just trust the process,
Okay.
and it'll all work out.
So
Just remember, you're the lock.
I'm trying not to talk over them. So that's basically a piss take on how WWE. I don't know if they still work like this, but that's a piss take on how WWE kind of
We
works.
good here, or
Yep, got what I needed. That's a cut.
Wow. So that's kind of how WWE sort of works, where they change up people's names and gimmicks. Hello, what's this? The Lock secured the Intercontinental Championship in his huge debut, and that's by a WWE account. Real Tavish. Can I not read all of that? I just thought it was going to
week
load
2
and I
on
could press
Raw.
A.
Let's see what they have in store for me. Can't be any crazier than last week, right?
Hey! Didn't get the chance to say hi last week. That was a hell of a debut.
Thanks, Gabriel.
Call me Gabe.
Excuse me, Gabe, can you turn to camera and introduce yourself?
Seriously? I've been in WWE for 10 years. I think whoever's watching will know who I am.
We probably won't use this, but just in case.
Fine. I'm Gabriel Slade. 3-time U.S. champion, 2-time Intercontinental champ, multi-time tag champion, and all-around good guy. Does that work?
Thanks.
Anyway, just wanted to welcome you to WWE. I know it can be hard sometimes for people to get acclimated here.
It's going okay so far, but yeah, it's a bit of an adjustment since I didn't come up through the Performance Center, or even work the U.S. scene much before this.
Okay, well, let me give you some quick tips to fit in. Make sure you fist bump and/or shake everyone's hand every time you see them. Be willing to give up your first-class seat if there are veterans and coach. And never sneeze around the big boss. Never. Well, I don't want to overwhelm you, but if you ever need any help or advice, I got your back.
I think I'm good, but thanks.
All right. Later, Locke.
Call me Champ.
Okay, champ.
That was a good dry run. Now, let's do another take without the interruption from the Raw Welcoming Committee. Jeez, no wonder that guy has never really made it. Too friendly.
I think we got it. I need to go get changed.
Okay. Can I now commentate? So, some of that's a piss take on how WWE does things like changing up people's names and gimmicks. So I don't think that's 100% how it officially works. But it is meant to be like I guess a little inside joke. Gabe there is not a actual real wrestler. I think he's purely made up for the game, because for the last few years WWE have made up characters. 2K have made up wrestling characters purposely for the story mode of the game. I guess that's probably because it's easier just to make up wrestlers and get voice actors in rather than asking the actual talent of WWE to do voice work. Which is a bit... I guess, but sort of cool. But to make up stuff like that, like he's been a wrestler for 10 years, has won the US title and Intercontinental Championship, you're kind of making up history while trying to make... I don't know, you're integrating real life history with made up history at the same time. Which I'm not 100% a fan on that. I like including like new original wrestlers into the game if you were doing stuff like outside of WWE. But when you are actually in WWE, it just doesn't quite make sense. But either way, so we've unlocked the men's attire for the lock. And yeah, quickly going back on that, that did sound similar to... I've only just seen your... Okay, so hi Joey, how you doing? Hello to you as well. I've only just looked over and seen your chat, I was too focused on what was going on there. But yeah, the lock really does sound like The Rock, so I wonder if at some point in the story that's what's going to happen, like you come to blows with The Rock. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, sorry about that, Joey. I wasn't paying attention to my chat. I just seen your message now. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Don't worry if you missed too much or whatever, because I do plan to put this up on YouTube at some point. No worries, dude. It's Joe. Oh, Joe! Yes! How are you, my friend? God, I don't... like... It's been ages, hasn't it? Not seen each other since that Vortex show, have we? That was fun. That's a fun show. They've not done anything for a while. I'm getting slightly worried, to be honest. All good, thank you. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing great, mate. I am doing great when I'm obviously not at work, because... I'll be honest, that some days I feel like they just drag on. Other days, they're okay. But yeah, no, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Glad to see that you're doing well. Thanks for dropping by. And if you're staying, thank you for staying. Right, so let's move on to what's out. Oh, hello. MyRise Hub. This is the MyRise Hub. You can discover new story opportunities, blah, 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 blah. Don't really need to read all that. Yeah, always nice to be off work. It is nice to be off work. Okay, don't really need to... I think this is practically the same as every year, isn't it? So, blah, blah, blah. Must play story... Oh, hang on, I think they've changed it a little bit. So, you will notice icons next to superstars in the hub. These icons will tell whether whether talking to them can launch you into a must-play story, okay, and the icon there is like a WWE logo. Optional story, which looks to be an explanation point, or challenge match, which is a fist. That doesn't sound wrong. Very much looking forward to WrestleMania. Looks awesome. Rory said you may be joining. Yes, Joe, I will be joining you guys for the WrestleMania weekend. I think we're only meeting up on the Sunday. Because my plan... So I'm going to let you in on something now for ahead of time here. So my plan for... I'm looking at my calendar. We're on the 18th now. Blah, 1, 2, 3... Okay, yeah, so... On the 31st, which is a Friday, I'm going to be jumping back on here to do a sort of simulation / predictions video of the WrestleMania Night 1 and 2 card. I'm going to do all matches in one video because unless I can find out which night is which for which card, then I might as well just do it all in one day. On Friday, I'm going to do a simulation predictions video and then upload that on the Saturday afternoon, hopefully, all goes well, if I can get the time and everything, I hope I'll have the time, then on Saturday, obviously, not much to do except upload. Then Sunday's going to be the hardest, because I think what the plan was, we were going to watch Stand and Deliver, then take a break or something, and then watch night 1 of WrestleMania. I think that was the plan. You may have to remind me in the chat, because I'm going off from memory of what Rory's told me. My brain's working 100 miles a minute here for some reason, so if I keep breaking up my sentences, that's why. So, Sunday I think is going to be the hardest, because that means I've got to stay off Twitter, I've got to stay off Instagram, I've got to even stay off YouTube, just to avoid spoilers. Because if we're going to watch night 1 on the Sunday, I don't really want to see what happens. I kind of want to go in, watch it with you guys fresh, unless everyone else has plans to watch it. Yes, will be an evening to remember. We are watching Stand and Deliver. Watch night. Yep, that's what I thought. Night 1. Take a break. Okay, so we're going to take a break after watching those 2 events. Okay. I thought we'd take a break between those, but yeah. Oh, I need to. I'll remember after ask for the for the address. Don't worry about giving the address now, though. Don't put it in chat. Yeah, that's going to be fun. I am very looking forward to that. I've never really hung out with anybody to watch wrestling before, so it's going to be a nice change. I've always watched it alone in my bedroom, and I'm going to be honest, when I watch wrestling, wink wink, I struggle with the setup, because it's constantly buffering every 2 minutes. The worst experience I had was Elimination Chamber, Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. Oh my god, that infuriated me. That was the one match I wanted to see the most at Elimination Chamber. And every 2 effing minutes, buffering. I had to come out of the stream, go back into the stream, come back out of it, go back into it, just to get it to work. And it was so annoying. I missed few good key moments of that match. I almost gave up and went to bed. I'm glad I stayed till the very end. And you know what? It worked perfectly after Roman won. It was fine for the entrances, messed up during the match, then worked perfectly after the match. I hate to watch wrestling, wink wink again, because it's so infuriating to get it to work. Anyway, anger out of the way. I am very much looking forward to that night, because again, first time going to be hanging out with people and actually watching wrestling, and it's WrestleMania. I mean, come on. It was not like I was not going to ask. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, gonna calm down now, because I was getting on my soapbox there. Oh, anyone missed it, because a moment ago while the cutscene was playing, my phone decided to do a swan-time bomb onto the floor, knocking this can over. So I've spilt a little bit of the contents onto the floor. So that was fun. Luckily the phone's... Oh, yeah, my phone's there. Luckily my phone's fine. But that was a fun panic moment while a cutscene was happening. Anyway, carrying on. If you want to go through the main path story quickly, you only need to focus on the must-play stories. Okay, but it is recommended to try and play all types of stories, as they present new pathways and rewards. Okay, so if I was to play just through the story, but then play it back and then do all the side stuff and then play the story, I would get different experiences each time. Okay, they've really gone above and beyond this year for this. So I'm liking that. That has been something I've always wanted for a career mode, or in this case my Rise. Having the ability, like, the story to constantly change based off different decisions and stuff that you make, or based off, I'm assuming at this point in time, if I was to lose that match with Sami just now, would the cutscene have played out any different? Would I have just been sat there sobbing because I've just debuted for WWE as this gimmick that was hyped up, and now look like a complete idiot for failing? I mean, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, but it recommended, blah blah blah. They present new pathways and rewards that you wouldn't otherwise get. If you are ready to move on with the main story, entering an available story gate, which is a little arrow sign, will accomplish this. However, once you enter a story gate, you will not be able to go back and play any optional stories or challenge matches you may have missed. Okay. So basically, like any story branching game, if you make a choice and move on, you can't go back and make decisions. Okay. Aha. Okay. You haven't got an icon like the rest of these guys, so maybe you're just here for a chat. Story mode menu, blah blah blah. This is my... I don't know why I keep saying blah 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 and then read it anyway. This is my Rise Hub menu. In addition to using the menu to check your social media for storyline opportunities, this is where you can customize your look, entrance, and upgrade your attributes. Okay. Okay. So here's social media. Yep. Don't need to read that. It's practically just... Yeah, okay. It's the same. If you see an icon next to somebody, you'll be advancing a story or accepting a challenge, and it's practically just like Twitter. So there's no need to really go too in depth on reading that. Let's see. So what's Hurricane put here? Shane Helms com is my WWE TV debut. I lost in my. I can't read. In my WWE TV debut, I lost my name, my gimmick, my entrance song, my finisher, and my WCW Cruiserweight Championship all in one night. If I survive that, Mavster 13 will be just fine. And by the way, that's actually my that's not just my Twitch name, that's also my Twitter handle, if anyone was interested. Mavster 13 will be just... interesting. So... Hang on, so he lost his name, his gimmick, his entrance. I'm slightly confused by this. And then I've never really followed Shane Helms very closely. I've always knew him as the Hurricane when I started watching wrestling. Glad at Chosen. Glad I didn't go to WWE and have to come out of a safe like The Lock. Laughing face. Think I'll continue to dominate social media and wrestling everywhere else in the world instead. Well, listen here, Chosen. Are you on WWE TV? Are you holding the Intercontinental Championship? I don't think so. That's me. I'm the one holding the Intercontinental Championship, and I'm the one on WWE TV. So, to you. Shawn Michaels. As VP of Talent Development, I'm told I'm supposed to be impartial, but The Lock is the real deal. It's still a dumb name, Shawn. It's still a dumb name. And a gimmick. I mean, I'm still the IC champ, but... Real Tavish, WCW, proud of The Lock. Knew he had it in him. Cool. Who are you, Tavish? I don't think I know who you are. John Cena. Someone went digging through the WWE archives and found my old chain. Hashtag chain gang. Does anyone remember that back in the day? Where he was part of this the chain gang or whatever, like some rap group. That was weird back then, wasn't it? Joe, sorry about that. Wi-Fi cut out. Back now. I'm thinking of creating a Facebook group chat with all of us in it. It'll be easier to plan the night. Go ahead and do that, Joe. I think that'd actually be a good idea. And it'd probably be much easier for Rory to organise then, because I assume he's just talking to people one by one. And it'd probably be much easier for him to actually talk to all of us in one go and let us know what's happening. So yeah, good idea. I'd get on that. John Cena. Oh, I just read that, didn't I? Just about to read it again, like a dumbass. Fight Owens fight. I thought stealing Legends gimmicks was my thing. Hashtag the lock. When did Kevin Owens steal a gimmick? Oh, was that referring to Stone Cold? When he came out with like the bald cap. Yeah, he is at the men. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Wonderful, I'll get on that. Cool, mate. You do that. And thank you for coming back to the stream after your internet cut out. Like, you didn't have to do that, but thank you for sticking with me on this. Bailey. No one in WWE is safe from the lock. Sorry, Sami Zayn couldn't resist. I like Bailey. I like her. That's all I have to say for that. WWE The Lock secured the Intercontinental Championship in his huge debut. That's from the WWE official. Mark for life. Or life. He spells it weird. After that IC title win over Sami Zayn, might have to change my handle to @Lock for life. Please don't. Tassia Tastic, if I'm saying that correctly. I've watched The Lock compete all over the world. Can't believe he's in WWE now. Well, I am, so... I was also in WWE in 2019 and 2022. I never played 2020 though. That game was a mess. Intercontinental champ, not sure about all that. Lock bollocks, but can't argue with it. That Lock bollocks, but can't argue. So are you supposed to be British, sir? Because I have only ever known a Brit to ever use the word bollocks. Thanks, Tavish. I don't know about it either, but maybe it's just temporary. Proud of you. Wasn't that long ago you were sleeping on my couch in between working shows here for 10 quid. You've come a long way. When Americans make British people, they really seem to push hard on the British kind of way of speaking, don't they? But I've never heard many people ever say 10 quid. Like, you'll hear it from time to time, but you mostly say £10. It's strange, really. What's Sean got to say? Told you everything would work out if you trusted the process. Definitely happy with the result, but still not completely sold on all the lock stuff. What if I at least get to do my own entrance from now on? That's fine. There's some legal stuff going down about the safe entrance anyway. I'm sure you'll hear more about it soon. Legal stuff? What kind of legal stuff are we talking about, Sean? It's a safe. It's a fucking lockbox. This is going up on my YouTube channel at some point, I think, and I'm trying to not swear, and I just keep slipping it out. You played much of this game so far? I played the showcase mode, so I've explained it all back in the beginning, but I've played the showcase mode. You know what, while I'm talking, I've done more talking and being on my phone than anything. Next time, I am definitely going to tell people I'm off limits. Where was I? So, I've played the showcase mode from start to finish. But I'm not a massive fan of the showcase mode. I've never have been a fan of the showcase mode. I liked it with the Attitude Era showcase mode back in, I think it was 2013. Then again, 2014 was Stone Cold, so that's kind of the same, really. But I've never been a big fan of it. It's just not... Well, I think they did it better, actually, years ago, because it used to be you actually watched cutscenes with the in-game models, rather than it blending between the real life footage. Because you sat there mostly watching the real life footage than you are playing the game, and it's just really not my cup of tea. But that's all I've played so far, because I've been in between work. and have had to deal with other things going on in my home life, I shall say, I've not had much of a chance to really delve into the game. I want to give GM mode a go. I might practice that on my off time, off of stream, and then do an actual proper stream of it. I've not touched universe mode yet. My faction, not really a my faction kind of person. And even if I was, I wouldn't be playing that as a main thing anyway. But I have played the exhibition, so I've tried out a few wrestlers, mostly been creating my wrestler and setting up the movesets and stuff. But yeah, I've only just played some exhibition and showcase. I've not done anything else, and this is my first time touching the story. It's kind of sad because I got the game 3 days early, and I worked those 3 days. So it's a pain. It's a pain to get a game early and then just not have the time to play it, especially when you come home from work and you're tired from everything. Okay, for how's the actual gameplay? Easy to manage. Easy to manage. Is it easy to manage? I'd say so. I mean, did you play last year's game? Because I'd say it's easy to manage. It's smooth. It looks fantastic. The created characters have been improved. So if you create a wrestler, they look almost realistic next to the actual wrestler models, like say a Roman Reigns, so it doesn't look like you've got an actual real life wrestler against a blob. It literally looks like a real person up against a real person, is what I'm saying. So the game runs smooth. I've not had any problems playing it, no glitches as of yet. It's easy to handle. The tutorial is there if you want to learn how to play it. It's simple enough, easy enough. They've changed up the pin system, so instead of like mashing a button now, you have to flick your nose is itchy. You have to flick the analog stick up at the right time. When I get pinned by somebody, you should be able to see it. I mean, if I ever get to another match, I mean, an hour in and I've not done much. But it's a different pin system now, but you can choose what pin system you prefer. You don't have to go with the newer one. But I would say it runs smoothly, it plays alright. It's easy to pick up and learn. I wasn't happy when they originally changed the control settings, because I still preferred the old settings, but even if you have to relearn different combinations and stuff, it's quick and easy. And it becomes muscle memory after a while, or brain muscle memory after a while. Anyway, okay. I mean, it's totally down to you. I would suggest watching other people play it and review it, because I'm not great at the whole reviewing thing, to be honest. All I can say is based off of what I've experienced, and what I've experienced so far is it's a nice, clean game. Probably a bit too high in price. Now, I bought the Icon edition, so look into all the different editions and then decide for yourself what you want. But I bought the Icon edition, which was about £100, and to be honest, that's too much for a wrestling game. I'm willing to pay for that because I'm secure enough to pay for that, but at the same time, I'll let you in on something. I actually saved up my Xbox points to convert into currency to then buy the game. So I paid half virtual money with half real money. So I didn't really spend it full price technically. Because again, it's a bit much for just a wrestling game. I have a friend who plays FIFA. I don't even think he would even buy the next FIFA game if it was £100, and he gets every FIFA every year. So to be honest, the pricing's ridiculous, but good game. Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah, 100%. Like, agreed. Anyway, right. One last message, quick. Right, gonna try and crack on with this now. where was I in the conversation? So, yeah, okay, he talked about legal stuff with the safe, which is weird. Cool. I also decided to stick with Mavster 13 instead of the lock WWE. Oh, for my Twitter handle. Okay. Not sure if you or anyone in the office noticed. Yeah, we noticed. But, okay. Well, I mean, of course they're going to notice. You're assigned talent, and you're not using the Twitter handle that they've probably assigned you. Okay, there's the story progress. Does that give me any hints? It does not. Oh, well, it gives me the names, so I can guess. Better safe than sorry. Two a days. Finishing schooled. You know what? I'm not even going to read for all that. That's just a pain in the ass. My attributes. Right. It's funny, because my overall for the main game was 76. The story, even though it told me my attributes won't carry over, I'm a 76. So I'm practically the lowest rated wrestler in the entire game. Nice. I have 208 points. Okay. Oh yeah, 'cause I got the Mega Boost pack, didn't I? So, where should I put this? Okay, let's put some points into my striking and my grapple. I'm not really much of a submission type person. Only when it's required will I go for a submission. Let's get some points in my defense and resilience. Get a couple more up in there. Let's get some aerial going. Okay, maybe I will put some points into submission right now. Okay, can't put any more. Okay, so I think I can only afford, yeah, one for each. So what would be better, defense or resilience? Let's go with resilience. So that will do. That takes me up to a nice 85. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let me go into my entrance quick. I'm just curious. I'm curious to see if that is giving me the lock type of entrance, or if I've got my entrance, my actual standard entrance from the main game. Nope, okay. Okay. I've got my actual entrance, so I assume now I will be entering the ring. I'll be entering the ring as normal. I am curious, because did I mute it? I muted it. Oh, I won't know now. I'm curious to know, because I've not actually checked. I'm pretty sure the music... Oh no, what's happened? Oh no. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, there was me saying that the game was playing smoothly, and then I thought it crashed. That would not have been a good look. Oh, the game plays really well. I've not come across any glitches. Here's a glitch. It's now stuck on the loading screen. It's fine. We're good. Oh no. That was not going to be a good look. Gabriel, help me. Get me out of this.
Hey,
something
champ.
interesting.
Long time no see. You here to cash in on some more tips from a certified locker room vet?
Oh, there's dialogue options. Usually it just let you press A and you just move on. How do I get a match? How do I improve my skills? How do I tour a bus? Ooh.
How do I get one of those tour buses that some superstars travel in?
That's a good question.
Win a lot of matches and make a lot of money. But in the meantime, if you need a good rental rate on a mid-sized sedan, I got connections.
I mean, that's not bad advice.
I'll
just
keep
win a
that
lot
in
of
mind.
matches.
All right. Any other questions or anything you'd like me to explain again?
Is this... I wonder, is this just basic tips? How do I get a match?
Yeah, I was wondering, how do I get a match?
Well, gee, I don't know. Maybe ask for a match, or just do what all current day wrestlers do. Tweet out to somebody and get a match. A lot of wrestlers do that now. They just put a tweet out, and it's like, oh, it's official. Here's a match for next Friday.
Great question. From my experience, matches get booked in one of two ways. Talking to people, or checking your social media messages.
So, practically in-game stuff.
Checking my social media. So I guess I shouldn't go dark on there while I'm in WWE.
I mean, you could do the Daniel Bryan thing, just don't go on your phone.
Definitely not.
Works out for
Even a
him.
veteran like me is always seeing what kind of trouble I can brew up on social media. If you don't check your SMs and DMs, you might miss out on
Keep calling him-
opportunities. Not
calling
everything
him
there
Daniel
will lead to a
Bryan, yeah, it's
match,
Bryan
but
Danielson
it's
now.
worth keeping up with what the WWE universe is up
And
to.
I've known him as Daniel Bryan for so many years, it's hard to call him anything else.
Okay, so check my social
Sake.
media feed and direct messages. Got it. And what did you mean by talking to people?
My nose, right here, gets itch, like not itchy. I feel like a tickle on my nose, and I have to like keep rubbing or scratching my nose, and it just looks dodgy. Like
Exactly what it sounds like.
I don't do
Aside
anything.
from being booked
I'm
by
only addressing
management,
it.
talking with superstars, the crew, or other backstage visitors.
Seems
Right,
easy enough.
I'm not
Don't try to
listening.
put too much.
So one issue at
All right. Any other?
Right, I'm not listening to all that because that's basically just explaining the game to you.
I think I'm
I'm
good for
only
now.
addressing the nose issue because I know at some point I'm going to keep rubbing my nose or scratching my nose in throughout streams, and eventually someone's going to say, "Oh, you're on,
All right.
you're on
Well,
something."
like I said, if you ever
I
need
feel like I
advice,
have to
or
say
even if
no.
you just
That's
forgot
not the
your
case.
flip-flops
Just- I
from
get a
the
tickle
shower, I'm here for you.
because I had a friend who fucking
Got it.
said something to me about it, and I had to explain. But no, it's just I don't know what it is. Like I didn't have to address it, didn't have to explain it, but I feel like I need to in case that ever comes out. Right. So you're challengers, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. These are characters from the previous year. Let's talk to you, Corey, with a K.
Happy Corbin has been mouthing off about his football career more than usual lately, saying the WWE grind is the same as non-stop two-a-days, which is why he's so well equipped. Give me a break. Take him on after a workout, showing you can compete after a two-a-day of your own.
Corey, you was obsessed with Baron Corbin in the last game. Just leave the man alone. I know nobody likes him, but just leave the man alone. I'm not joking. In the last game, I'm pretty sure every time you spoke to her, it was always, "Oh, Baron Corbin this, Baron Corbin that." Just leave the man alone. I wonder if this will do an entrance. Because I'm curious. Actually, I can hear music now, so... Well, there's music playing in the background, there's no music playing off my screen, so I assume... Oh, it's not prepared. I assume that, I assume they do switch off music. There we go, so here's the pin system. Yeah, you just flick the analog stick up now. And I'm using it to practice with, basically. Because I'm in two mindsets of whether I want to just stick with the new pin system, because I'm pretty sure if you was to change it to the button mashing, if you was to play online, the game will just revert you to playing as the... the game will just revert you to using the analog stick for the online matches. So I'd rather practice with the analog stick, just to be on the safe side. I wonder if I could cheat this and just get a count out. Oh, let's try and... There we go. Yes. Oh no, he's reversed it. Ah, missed it. Right. This is why I hate the reversal system. Because I swear it doesn't give you enough time to react. Or it's just me. Oh no, come on. Come on, buddy. Ah, you... I swear it just doesn't give me enough time to register the Y button. I'm going to lose this match. Why have I started off injured? Like, why have I just started off with body parts being injured? There we go. Oh, he's reversed me. Lovely. Alright. I'm getting my ass kicked. Great. By Baron bloody Corbin of all people. Marvellous. Sod off.
1, 2, that's 3.
Oh no! No! Rematch, please. For fuck's sake. We didn't suck in that one, did he, Joe? He just kicks my ass. God's sake. God damn it. Fanny, what have you got?
Want to join my book club? I tried
That's
to
her
recruit
name, by the
Robert
way. It's
Roode,
not
but he said
me
the only part of a book he
shouting out
likes is
something
the ending.
stupid.
Or, as he called it, the book's finishing move. He said he's got the best ending in WWE, but I thought maybe you could take him on and show him yours?
What end? Who's got a what ending now? What? What are you signing me up for? Okay. Now she wants me to go beat up Robert Roode for having an ending next time you got him. I hope I've got him next time. I'm not letting that go. Thankfully that was in the Performance Centre, so it doesn't count. It does not count as a official loss.
It's the man who might transform
This is an
WWE
official
forever,
match.
The
Robert
Lock.
Roode versus me. Here's the entrance. Gonna check again.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from London,
Okay, I don't think
weighing
theme
in
music's
at
playing in the background, so
the WWE
that is a streaming. That's a streaming thing.
Champion,
They turn off the music.
Rumor has it that The Rock has already had various disagreements.
I don't
with
know if there's a
WWE
way to
management.
turn that on, but then I'm
Brains
not
are
sure if I
always a
really want to
little
turn that on.
difficult,
I wouldn't want WWE copywriting me for playing theme music. Okay, so this isn't my entrance. This is still the in-story entrance. Okay, so I don't get my entrance back just yet. It's a copyright thing, isn't it? It is, I believe. They for a WWE game anyway, they turn the music off when you're live streaming things. But it's also Twitch. I think you can't play music and stuff. Well, you can only play certain select songs, but you can't play music over Twitch. And YouTube is the same, so it is definitely a copyright issue. Which is a shame, because this is like the best theme. He's got the best theme music, right? Robert Roode. The best theme music. And it's an amazing entrance. Where's your robe, sir? Why are you still wearing the Dirty Dogs attire? You and Dolph Ziggler have not teamed for over a year now. Actually, what has happened to him? I've not seen him on TV for over a year. It was a shame, because this man should have definitely been pushed to the main event when he came in.
The ring or on the entrance ramp. Because nobody makes an instant impact quite like Robert Roode does.
I actually remember when
He's held
James
the
Storm
NXT
just had a
title,
random
Tag
NXT
Team
match,
Championships, the United
but he never
States
officially
title.
signed.
Robert Roode is all
But I just remember the
business.
interviews because people were asking Robert Roode, going like, "Oh, like, do you think you'll team up with James Storm ever again?" And he was kind of like, he was a bit awkward about it. It was kind of like he wanted to just move on from Beer Money. A bit of a shame. I think he's injured at the minute. I would say injured, yes, but it's been over a year, Joe. Like,
Roode is a serious threat to any superstar.
and I've not really heard anything about him being
ready to
injured.
get his hands dirty.
Then I say over a year. I mean, Big E, yeah, has been injured over a year himself, so I really shouldn't be the one talking about how long people should be injured for. Triple H will do bits with him when he, hopefully, because he is a talented guy, and again, that entrance and theme music is just, Jesus, he went straight for me.
Anyone else ever heard Roode say he's got the best finisher in WWE? Constantly, but I think he's in for a rude
Okay, so
awakening
this is a
against
finisher
The
match,
Rock.
great. So I've got to hit my finisher before he does. I don't see it happening. Running knee, good. Let's start off strong here. But yeah, like he definitely should be used a lot more than he already has been. But he did come in when Vince was still in charge. And I'm grateful Vince is gone. But I feel like any day now he's just going to come back, and it's just going to go back to the way things were. And I will definitely not be watching again. Yeah, finally got into a wrestling match. Finally, he's an hour, almost an hour and a half in. We've finally got a wrestling match going, people. And the goal is to build up my finisher as quickly as possible.
And a slap too.
Ooh, what disrespect. Right, let me try something, because this should be. There we go.
Not done yet.
Right. That's my favourite move. That is a Jordan Devlin move, but it's my favourite move, where he just headbutts him, lifts him up by his arm, and then just does a... I think it's a... Oh, what's it called? It's an exploder suplex, I guess? I can't remember. It's my favourite move. It just looks badass, just headbutt and then throw him over your shoulder. I could do that, but I would do that to anyone who'd piss me off. Who knows? Wally! Welcome! How you doing, buddy? Joe, I think he heard us talking about him. Oh, okay. What is happening? Why have I turned into a ballerina? What's going on?
Sharp elbow to the gut turns
Okay.
that one around.
If I can get my signature in. Yes. Nice. Okay, good. Now, just got to hit this. Good night.
The official has to call.
That is an official win. The Baron Corbin one didn't count. We're not counting that. This is the official win. So technically in WWE, I'm 2-0 right now.
This was as one-sided as it gets.
Hey, great to see you there, Rory. I'm definitely hyped. Me and Joe were just talking about it. Like, we are definitely hyped for the weekend. So hyped. Because I was saying, like, I've never hung out with anyone for a wrestling pay-per-view to watch on TV. This would be the first time I've ever hung out with other wrestling fans to watch WrestleMania live, or just any WWE pay-per-view in general. So I'm really glad I reached out to you and asked. Oh, hello, Adam Pearce. What do you want? Yeah.
Welcome to Raw. Gotta say, I've been a fan of your work for a while. Can't say the same for Drew Gulak, though. I heard him mention your name in a rant about superstars who lack fundamentals. Fundamentals according to who, Drew? But if you ever want to put in a little extra super specific training before a show, you know who to ask.
Guess so. Out fundamental Drew in the ring. What is fundamental exactly? Seriously, my nose. There's a problem with my nose now. I think it's like deliberately doing it. Mostly does it if I'm live streaming. I've noticed that more. Ooh, an empty arena. Please tell me I can unlock this. Knock Drew around with a light combo. Okay, I can do that. Ah. Suck it. that went perfectly. Turn it back on Drew and perform a reversal. Oh, I hate those challenges. Because I can never time it. My arch nemesis in these games is the reversal system. I bloody hate it. It's either me, or it's either I'm just that bad at getting a reversal, or it's the game. And I will always blame the game. I'm looking forward to having you. Oh, thank you. Oh. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Are we going to... Question, are we going to do predictions for that, for WrestleMania, just for fun, or are we just going to watch it for fun? Not saying like, oh, winner gets something, just as a laugh, like, oh, let's see how many matches we can get correct. Dodge one of Drew's attacks. Oh, I forgot to assign this move. Yes. Okay. Will it... Can I cheat it? I kind of cheated it. Oh. And now he's oh, I got to win. Okay. Yeah, we can do that on the night. Yeah, okay, cool. Because I do actually like trying to guess how many matches I can get right for pay-per-views. I've got a bunch of old pay-per-views saved in the notes on my phone where I just wrote down who I thought was going to win. I think I've only ever got one clean sweep in my entire life, being a wrestling fan. On the top turnbuckle, please. Thank you. Nice. Right. Oh, he's back up. He got back up. I was not expecting that. I don't want to use my stamina. I want to build that up. Right. Just smack you about a bit. There you go. Oh. Ouch. Ha! Take that. Alright, I need to get my stamina back up. Okay, okay, that's good, that's good. It's back up now. Okay. What of them? Okay, I remember what other signature I have now. 1 second. I'm not entirely... Frog Splash. I'm not entirely married to that, though. I find it so hard trying to make myself in wrestling games and deciding what moves to have. Because I try to come up with, okay, what moves could I realistically do if I was to actually train to be a wrestler? And it's very hard because I can never figure out what my finishers would be. So my finishers constantly change. The one constant finisher I always have, though, is the spear, because realistically I could pull off a spear. It wouldn't look as good as Edge, but I could pull off a spear. I can't wait for the AEW game. Black Mass. Yes, you recognise the Black Mass, don't you? I'm the same on WWE2K. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember playing 2K with Harry. So I'm playing catch-up now with the chat. So yeah, I miss playing with you guys. I kind of wish the WWE Games was like cross-platform, so we could all play again. Bit of a shame, really. Can't wait for the AEW game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. People keep complaining about it getting delayed. The thing is, I don't care if a game gets delayed, because at least they're working on the game and not releasing a game that's absolutely broken. I mean, the biggest examples I can think of is 2K20, Cyberpunk, and Mass Effect Andromeda. They were like broken games on release. So when a game is announced that it's going to be released, but then they say, okay, we're going to have to delay that an extra few months, I don't mind. I'd rather the game gets perfectly made and comes out perfect. People just need to stop moaning about games needing to come out when they want them to come out. AEW Fight Forever, no exception. Or an exception, don't know which one. I have a suspicious feeling it was supposed to come out last month, or at least this month, but because of this game, I think they delayed it purposefully so it didn't clash. Just a theory though, but I think that's what they did. They just didn't want to compete with WWE, and I don't blame them, because the WWE games, just like WWE itself, is bigger than AEW. Why would you want to try and go up against that? Even though Tony Khan thinks he could go up against WWE. What a fool he is. I think AEW may be cross-platform. I think so too, not sure. I think it's supposed to be cross-platform. Yeah, exactly, they're looking for... exactly, you want a game that's perfect, take your time with it. And Rory, yes, Black Mass is one of my finishers. Because I just love the spinning... If I could actually... If I was to train as a wrestler, I would actually try to train my arse off to be able to spin around and do a kick like that. And I think it's mostly because I have cerebral palsy. So I'm limited on certain things I can do, movement-wise. But if I could pull off a spinning roundhouse type of kick and say I can do that, that'd be an accomplishment for me. That'd be a proper accomplishment for me. I should try and practice. I keep thinking, oh, I'll get a punching bag, stick it in the garden, give it a practice. That'd be hilarious. Because I could see myself falling arse over tit. If you want to play a cross-platform game with me and Joe, we play a car game that's crossed over with... Oh yeah, Rocket League, I have that. And I think Daniel has that. Yeah, I've got that, so we'll definitely, at some point when I'm free, try and give that a go. How many more challenges is this going to throw at me? I kind of want to get back to the Sami Zayn stuff here.
I just interviewed Ludwig Kaiser, who said WWE matches aren't enough of a test, so he's now proposing a 5 out of 9 falls match. Management hates the idea and would love it if someone could take him out in a 2 out of 3 falls match to shut him up. Interested?
I'd rather it have been Gunther, but okay, I'll take on Ludwig. Or shall I say Marcel Barthel. And Walter. I prefer those names much better than their newer names. I'll call them Gunther and Ludwig out of respect, but I just prefer the old names.
It's the future of
but I do love the theme
WWE,
music.
the
Just
Lock.
Gunther, Ringenra, Gunther. That and the announcer Samantha, who pronounces their names, is just... I wish he was the announcer in this game.
From London, England, weighing in at
I may need a tissue because my nose is really just winding up now. I don't know what it is. Really horrible tickle. But I love Gunther. Yeah, we love Gunther. I normally use the F5 on Harry and Joe on the trampoline and the... I mean, if you could pull off the F5, Rory, that would definitely be your finisher. Try and if you actually become a wrestler, try and convert it into a RKO sort of combination as well. So when you, instead of like throwing them over your head, you spin them around and just do a drop. You know what I mean? I think that'd be pretty cool to look at. Harry! Oh my god, hello! The whole gang is here. The whole Vortex gang. Brilliant. Yeah, Walter's better name, isn't it, Rory? Basically a TKO. Yeah, basically a TKO, but if you make it look good, maybe do a backflip afterwards.
A man dedicated to the cause
Mr. Matt, hello, sir.
Gunther,
good to see you.
Time
the whole Vortex crew is here.
Is sacred.
Actually, now that I have you guys all here, what is happening with Vortex? Because they've not done a show since, what, October was it? November? and I'm not seeing any posting from their pages. It's kind of getting to a point where I feel like maybe they're not going to do a show. As of the 5-time...
That sounds to me like you're a bit envious of Ludwig's talents in the ring.
Yeah, there's no denying, however, Ludwig's technical skills.
Well, he's still kind of a mean guy. He's not a mean guy.
The last show was good, because Amira, as you guys know, Amira is my favourite female wrestler currently. She got to win the Vortex Women's Championship. So I was very happy to witness that, but since then, it's been quiet on the Vortex side, so I hope Vortex Wrestling is still going to be going. Hopefully they do something around, or maybe just after WrestleMania weekend. I miss going to see wrestling shows live. I want to go to the EWA one in Wickham. If I can work out the travel, I'd definitely love to come down and see you guys the next time they do a show. I'm going to have to keep my eyes off chat for a second.
You think that's endurance?
Okay, so it's just an attempt to defeat him. Maybe I can look at the chat. There you go, I don't know. I was thinking this. Hang on. No, I can't read the chat and do this at the same time. I'm going to make a mistake.
Vicious combination of strikes.
Arms and feet. Mounting. And hammering away.
Okay, maybe I'll have to have a little practice with the legend difficulty and change the difficulty, because at the moment I'm on hard. Because I had it on hard when I played the showcase, because I felt like I needed a bit of practice with the game before putting it back on legend, and hard was very difficult playing the showcase against John Cena. But now that I've been playing it like this, I don't feel like it's much of a challenge. So maybe I'll have to put it back up to legend. At some point maybe I'll finish this up, come out of this, go into exhibition and give it a bit of practice.
And now he's just being pushed around. Yeah, he has to devise some kind of new strategy here.
Oh, 1 sec. Headbutt. Over the shoulder. Love it. Love to see it. Now that's not a place you want to be, Ludwig, because I can do that. I'm loving this so far. Into the steps you go, buddy. Or over there. That's fine too. You do you. Okay. I wonder if should I attempt it? Should I attempt to see? It didn't go well when I tried it on Baron Corbin. So should I attempt it? Get a count out? Just embarrass Ludwig for a little bit? Oh. Okay, yeah. This is what happened last time. Note to self, don't ever try to get a count out victory. It's just going to bite me in the arse. Haha, you missed. Unless I can pull it back. Unless I can pull it back. I could probably actually get a count out victory.
Not what you want to see by any means.
Oh god.
He's back into the ring.
Can I get a 10? Can I get a 10?
He wants even more out of his opponent.
Ah, yes. What a way to embarrass somebody. 2 out of 3 falls,
You
mate.
just know that would have been a deflating result for the WWE
Okay.
Universe.
Oh, you son of a Kaiser.
He's going for the pin. This could be it. Into the pay window.
He didn't even let the ref start the count.
Yes, I didn't let the ref start the count because he's barely done anything to earn a count. I'm going to let him get a 2 count, am I, Corey? Right.
Oh, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Night.
Nah, screw it, go for a pin. Go for a pin off the signature, why not?
Oh my God, that was so close.
This started as a match.
Okay.
Now it's a test
You
of
could have
will.
just stayed down for the 3 count, buddy.
The
You
lock
didn't,
is
so
focused
now we
on
have to do
finishing
this.
this.
I have to do that.
He saw that one coming. Counter upon counter. Great minds thinking alike.
And a well-executed move we just saw there.
And he's
Not gonna
already
lie,
taken
that was a cool
more hits up
sequence.
there than he should
That
have
was a
to
cool
handle.
sequence, I'm not gonna lie.
Getting set up for something in the corner.
Sliding German.
Lucky I just noticed that the battery's about to die on the laptop.
Able to sidestep it.
Ah!
Long way down.
I'm not too worried, because it is a 2 out of 3 fall, so if he gets a pin on me now, it's not too much of a problem, because I get a second chance. Oh yes, caught him. And that is one and done, my friends. Nice.
Here is your winner.
Okay, I definitely will have to probably put this up another match, because I don't feel much of a challenge.
This is what you get when you
Still a
have
competitive
complete
match, just
confidence and
I'm
control
not feeling a
of the
challenge.
situation.
I don't know. Okay, what's happened in chat since I've looked away? Oh my god, you lot talk a lot, don't you? Let's see. Since last year, yep. Messaging the owner of the Vortex to get. I mean, if you can message the owner, get an update, that'd be nice. Just like to know how what's going on, really. Because I think the owner said to us last time there was he was having. It was a factor of money issues or something, wasn't it? Of having to set up the shows. I will definitely love EWA because it's from stuff that I have seen. It looks impressive. Game actually looks quite good. As I said, it looks impressive and it plays smoothly. I mean, it's not bad. It's very much an improvement of what we've had over the years. So it is a good game. Which console are you playing this on? Harry, I am playing this on the Xbox Series X. So if it looks good on this, I'm 100% certain it's going to look amazing on PS5. I'm certain of it. Have you seen EW's YouTube channel? I have seen. Did I subscribe? I think I forgot to subscribe, but I've definitely seen clips from the YouTube channel. So I have seen that they've got a channel. Let's go back a few. I still call him Marcel, but yeah. Yeah, I just prefer the old names. I just don't like Ludwig and Gunther and what was the other one? Giovanni. Giovanni Vinci's not bad, but I still prefer Fabian Eichner. I just prefer the old names. Right, I think that was all of the challenges done now, so it's on to the main story.
Wow, look who it is.
Sammy, what happened to your neck?
Don't get cute with me. You know exactly what happened. I had no idea who I was facing, and as a result, I lost, suffering emotional and physical damages after you assaulted me with that safe. I am going to sue you for everything you're worth.
I'd rather take you on in the ring than in the courtroom, but it doesn't look like you're in any condition to do that.
No, I'm not, thanks to you and your shenanigans. But maybe we can work something out. I won't sue under the following conditions. First, when I'm ready, I get a rematch for my title. And second, you no longer use the safe as part of your entrance, as it will cause further emotional distress, putting me at an unfair disadvantage.
I actually already told management I was done with the safe. Anyway, just let me know when you're ready to lose to me again.
I will, but it won't be a loss for me. And in the meantime, I have one other condition to prevent legal action. First, you must face my hand-picked opponent, so I can rest up and do some extra scouting.
Yeah, the graphics are insanely amazing. Just to get the chat going a bit more between you guys. Who's loving the Bloodline Sami Zayn stuff that's happening? I mean, that's been the best bit of television I've ever seen. From War Games to the court of Sami Zayn, up to now of him and Kevin Owens reuniting. Spoilers if you've not seen SmackDown, but they finally have brought them both together again. Oh, it's just been fantastic to watch. Like, I've been loving every second of it. As much as I wanted to see Sami Zayn win the WWE Championship, because could you imagine the reaction he would have got at Elimination Chamber? The roof would have definitely came off that place. But I am looking forward to Mania and seeing what's going to go down. It's the best storytelling WWE has done in years. And it generally just makes me want to watch every week now. Yeah, very hyped. Very hyped. Ah, just fantastic. Right. Sure.
Who do you want me to go up against?
Oh, you'll find out in the ring. Not a great feeling when you don't know who you're facing, is it? Good luck.
Did he ever get back to me, by the way? No, he didn't. Okay. Bit of a shame, but oh well. Doesn't matter. Story confirmation. This is the story confirmation prompt. It will give you relevant information on the story, such as the rewards gained on completion. You always have the option to confirm or back out the story through this prompt. Okay. If you decide to confirm, you will be locked into a story and can no longer take on other stories until you finish the current one. If you feel like you want to explore a little more or customize your W Superstar, you can always select to decline the story and come back to it later. Okay. Okay. Well, there's no reason for me to explore around. I've practically done everything. I would like them to go back to how it used to be, where you could actually walk around the backstage area. Don't make it like 2016's version, where you had to walk from the car park all the way to the gorilla position, and then walk back to the car park. It was so repetitive after a while. If you do it like this, where you just do a story, and then if you do a story, let's call it a mission, I guess, a story mission. If you complete a story mission, then it should just cut to the next day, instead of having you constantly run back and forth between the car park and stuff. Like, make it less repetitive. But I would like the ability to roam around backstage again in this game, because it is... I don't know, I just don't like the whole using the analog stick to look left and right and then only press A to talk to people. I would like the ability to actually run around and explore the backstage area. But anyway, and I've just noticed that I can unlock the neck brace. So cool, if I wanted to pretend I had a broken neck. Awesome. So. It's been going fine so far, like almost 2 hours in. What is the time actually? Not bad.
It's the superstar who's unlocked to be on top of WWE for years to come.
Oh, because I started at past. Right, I was going to start at 5. And I kept getting delayed. Actually, I was originally going to start this at around 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and I wasn't feeling up for it. I kind of pushed back to pushing it back. And I was this close to not doing a stream today. I was kind of like, do I really want to do a stream? Now I've kind of just decided, you know what? Let's just get on with it. Oh, we've got to get rid of that awful tyre. I want my attire back. I want my entrance back.
The Lock has been handed the keys to WWE. Is he ready to drive?
This is not me. And I don't even look that impressive. It looks awful. I want my stuff back. Remember playing SmackDown Shut Your Mouth on PS2 and on the story mode you walk... Right, that was the first ever WWE game I ever played, Rory. Shut Your Mouth was literally the first ever WWE game I ever played. Loved that game. And yes, that's what it should be more of, just walking around the whole backstage area and bumping into the wrestlers and talking to them. That's what I want more. Everyone says Here Comes the Pain was like... I never played Here Comes the Pain, but everyone's like Here Comes the Pain when they ever mention WWE games. It was like their first game or their favourite game. Shut Your Mouth was mine. That was my game. And to embarrass myself a little bit, Shut Your Mouth, I generally thought it was like a sort of Mortal Kombat style of game, like all the characters were just made up, like WWE was a whole made up thing. I never knew it was real. So my introduction to wrestling was through Shut Your Mouth. So I played Shut Your Mouth thinking it was all made up, and then when I discovered it on TV, my mind was blown. Because I think I came in... When did I come in? Because it's a bit confusing. I think I came in around ECW One Night Stand 2005, or Vengeance. What was the match? Triple H versus Batista in the Hell in a Cell for the world title. I came in around that time when I finally discovered that wrestling was actually an actual TV product, and I'm getting my ass handed to me by Ridge the Fridge. I'm talking too much. But that was my introduction to WWE. I just thought it was a video game, and then when I discovered, oh, it's actually a real genuine thing, I was like blown away. And I've been a wrestling fan ever since. There have been times I've kind of been bored by it, but that was mostly due to the PG era. Then I stopped watching it after day one. Well, I say I stopped watching it. I stopped watching Raw. Well, I stopped watching NXT when they did 2.0. Then I stopped watching Raw after day one when Brock Lesnar yet again won the WWE Championship and he pinned Big E. What a joke. I still watch SmackDown, but that was only for the Roman Reigns stuff. But other than that, I kind of stopped watching wrestling. There have been times where I've just dipped out of wrestling, but I've always been a fan since then. I think 2005-2006 type era. Oh, Ridge. Why won't you just let me beat you up? And I keep forgetting there's objectives to complete. So I keep expecting just to go in, and the whole point is just to win the match. There we go. There we go. Getting something going now. I might have to analyse my... Nice. I have to analyse my movesets just a little bit. Attempt to pin Ridge. Okay, I can do that. After I flipped a tiny bit more damage. There you go. Right, I need you back in that ring. Actually, let's... Oh. He was not impressed. He was not impressed. Okay, he's going to get me back in the ring. No, he's not. He's going to try and hurt me. Right.
Ridge looking for a raucous fight night atmosphere as he turns his attention to the crowd. Rights and lefts.
You may, at some point, notice I keep doing the same moves over and over again. I apologise for that. I don't mean to do that. I just end up doing what my hands do with the controller, and what happens happens. There is no strategy when I play these games. There's no sequence I plan out in my head to do. I just end up doing whatever my controls do. There we go. But I had to go for the pin. So I looked in the corner. You son of a...
This was all a setup to weaken the Intercontinental Champion.
Right, listen here, you
before he
ginger.
faces Sami Zayn.
I may think you're a fantastic person. You should win the WWE title.
Say something about the safe?
That's uncalled
Some
for.
kind of revenge for what happened when the Lock
How
debuted.
dare you, sir?
With the deranged Sami Zayn calling the shots, nothing is off limits.
To be fair, being
Whatever
beaten
the
up by
plan
Sami
is,
Zayn's kind
Sami
of an
looks to
honour.
be maneuvering the Lock toward the stage. And the Lock's helpless after taking that blow from his own chain.
I'm kind of impressed they updated it in time to get his t-shirt in the game.
What the heck is their plan?
Even though they can't seem to do that with everybody in the game.
Suplex on the unforgiving stage.
Hang on, no. They're going to try and injure me. No way. Not even injure me, they're going to try and kill me.
Those things weigh like 1,000 pounds. This is way
He can't even move
into
it.
Sami. Our Intercontinental Champion's going to be
That shows, if I could push that over... Oh no.
Especially with both of them pushing
Move.
it now.
Move.
Watch this.
Oh no.
Gabriel Slade is here.
Thankfully, he's going to put an end to this.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Sammy and Ridge want no part of
You
him.
made up
Oh, no
individual.
idea if these two are friends. Maybe Slade just didn't want to see someone
All
get
right.
squashed. Well, Locke certainly looks frustrated with himself.
Saved me just in time,
Gabriel
though.
Slade,
Ooh.
or maybe all of the above.
Apparently I didn't need
Just be
saving.
happy he's walking out of here on his own 2 feet and not getting peeled off the stage.
That's a bit of a harsh attitude to have to somebody who saved you. Well, that wasn't going to injure you, buddy. That was probably going to kill you. That safe land on some of you. Very rude. Man comes out and saves you, and you push him away and tell him to bugger off. That's kind of rude. What's going on in the chat then, guys? What's happening? What am I missing? Okay, cool. Joe has made the group chat. Awesome. Let's see. I remember I spotted watching WWE for a year after Extreme Rules 2021. Okay. Then started watching it again by watching Extreme Rules 2022. That's cool. It's good. It is good that you got back into it, Rory. I was glad that I got back into it myself, like, because Vince really did ruin it for me, the way he was treating people. What's happening? Only started watching WWE again after Vince left. Yep, same here, Joe. Same thing. As soon as he left, I think I started watching. I think I watched the Raw before SummerSlam, and then I've been watching it ever since. So that's when I got back into it. Not very easy of him. No, it was not. Not very easy indeed. Same. I stopped watching. Oh, I kind of skipped over there. Oh, hang on. Okay, so Harry, you said the same thing, I guess. For a year, but I'm watching it right again. That Vince. Okay. Oh, you stopped watching it for a year. All right. Catch your Facebook message, Mav. Check. Let me see. Yep, I have got your message there, Joe. Obviously, I'm not trying to not go on my phone too much now, because I was going on it a lot at the start of this stream, but I definitely have your message, and there is a reaction just to show. Thank you for that. Thank you for setting that up. That'll definitely help you out, Rory, because now you can let all of us know if anything changes. In the 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks leading up to it, I guess. I started watching WWE again by watching the Raw and SmackDown before Extreme Rules. Yeah. I mean, you got to watch the weekly shows before you watch the pay-per-views, because the weekly shows, I guess, show you a better product than the main shows would. 2 weeks from tomorrow. So I was correct. 2 weeks. Nice. Oh, tomorrow. Yeah. So when this stream's on, depending on whenever I upload this to YouTube, because I do plan to upload this to YouTube at some point. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be Mother's Day when this goes out. Or maybe it'll go out the day after Mother's Day. But happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Just thought I'd throw that there. Yeah, great. I'm so looking forward to that, though. I'm really glad to, for once, be joining people. Okay. Where are we at now? Sami Zayn, how did it feel to have your life flash before your eyes? Mavs to 13. Probably not great, especially since your life has been pathetic and worthless, unlike mine. Glad you're feeling better, Sammy, but you and your goon should have taken me out when you had the chance. Now you're going to pay. Oh, he's going to pay, alright. Man tried to kill me. You think I'm going to let that go? What's Corey got to say? I think this is from all the... Yeah, I didn't check my messages after I did all those challenges. At least now you know something you need to work on. Don't forget that cardio next time you hit the gym. Oh yeah, because I lost to Baron, didn't I? Didn't count. Nice, that reminded me of the end of the Count of Monet Crystal. Oh, Count of Monte Crystal, okay. Ever read it? No, I haven't actually. I've heard of it, never read it. I know a great group to discuss it with, so for just me, but if you join our membership, we'll double think about... So you have a book club with yourself? I don't think that's how I don't think that's how clubs work. Congratulations on passing the Drew Gulak Academy on Ring Fundamentals. Your certificate should be arriving in the mail in 6 to 8 weeks. I generally want Drew Gulak to now send me a certificate in real life. I want that. Because why not? Reports are that WWE Brass is very pleased. Ludwig, on the other hand, yeah, because I beat him, so... Oh, there he is. You cannot stop progress. My plans to change weak American wrestling will be fulfilled. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, when we did the 2 out of 3 falls earlier, it was mentioned the 5 out of 9 falls, did she call it? That's sort of a reference to what NXT UK used to do, isn't it? Where they had the Heritage Cup. A lot of wrestling fans said that was boring. I actually enjoyed those sorts of matches. A little round system. Kind of wish WWE would keep that. Not for weekly occasions, but I'd say like maybe do an actual... Maybe every couple of months just do something out of it. I don't know. Okay, just everyone's got... Hang on, just want to see Rhodes win. Will be a perfect end at Mania. Now, you may want to see Cody Rhodes win, Joe. Let me run something by you here. I want to see Cody Rhodes win. But could you imagine if you heard 1, 2, 3 and then Roman Reigns' theme music just hit? Like, could you imagine the reaction from that? That we're all thinking Cody's going to win, and then suddenly the twist is Roman wins. Because then where would you go from there with Roman? Would you then have Jay finally leave the bloodline? Would you have Solo Sikoa kind of turn on Roman Reigns? Where could you go with that? And it would be an intense reaction. Not gonna lie. Would be an interesting one. I've only got 18 points for my attributes, so I'll just save that for now. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I really like Reigns, but yeah, there would be no real sense to do that. I think it's time it all ends. Yeah, it should end. I mean, it's a shame he can't get to at least 1,000 days with that reign, but yeah, it's got to end. I mean, it's been over, what, 3 years now? 3 years with the championship, like... Time to give it up, man. I think it's time it all ends. Here's a 2K memory, and I can't remember what 2K game it was. How far you got in the AJ Styles tower, because I can't remember how far I got. How far did I get when I attempted it? I think I got... I want to say I got to the last match. I think I got to the last match where you fight Golden AJ Styles. Because I think I tried to cheat it by playing as Brock Lesnar. And it didn't work out. I never completed that tower. But I'm pretty sure I did get to Golden AJ Styles. Not 100% sure though. It was quite a few years ago. I think he's on like 800 days or so. Yeah, I think he is. About 800 days, or at least he'll be in the 900s once we get into Mania. I think. But yeah, he's been champion for at least 3 years at this point. It'd be kind of cool, as a story aspect, to see him lose, kind of just disappear off TV for a little while, and then just have him come back, and then just have a reigns, like a reigns of terror or something. Just he's like tearing up the arena, he tears up the ring, he just beats up everybody in his way, like Mad King sort of style. Just be cool. I'd still want to see Rock versus Roman at some point, just not for the championship. But I could, like, I'm just thinking, what could they do after? It'd be interesting to see what they could do after. They should at least wrap up the Jey Uso and Roman Reigns story. Like, finally have Jey Uso step up to Roman. Anyone think it's weird, though, that Jimmy's kind of very loyal to Roman? That they never seem to bring up the fact that Roman choked Jimmy out in order to get Jey to say "I quit" in that "I quit" match? I mean, I just find it weird how Jimmy's so loyal, and yet it seems brushed over the fact that, mate, he literally choked you out just to break your brother's, just to mentally break your brother. Like, come on. Just weird. Has Roman Reigns broken Okada's record when Okada was the champion for 3 years? Rory, that is a question I can't answer because I'm not massive into New Japan. Not that I don't want to watch New Japan, I just never have time to add another wrestling show into my schedule. And I'm never sure when New Japan does shows. Maybe, I'm not sure. Roman might have beaten it. Actually, no, if he's beaten it, I'm pretty sure people would have mentioned, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of wrestling fans would have mentioned Okada got his record beaten. Same here, man. If AEW and WWE is enough for... Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. So, weekly, it used to be Raw, NXT, AEW, and then it's SmackDown and Rampage, so that's like, what, 5? I've now cut out NXT because I just don't find it interesting anymore. I'm still up for watching Stand and Deliver, by the way, but I just don't find the weekly shows entertaining anymore, so I've cut out NXT. Rampage I've cut out because it's the same, it's just not interesting to watch. When it comes to the main shows though, like Raw and SmackDown Dynamite, they're the only 3 I watch. Because between work and life, and how much time I can fit in, I've got to cut some things down, and I've only got the time to watch the 3 shows. I've had time to watch 5 shows, but when you're not really that interested or invested, I just cut out the stuff I wasn't enjoying, and I'm more happier with the main shows currently. AEW though is very annoying because they can only broadcast it here on a Friday. So it means I get spoilers 3 days up, not 3 days, 2 days after. Which is irritating. I watch New Japan Pro Wrestling sometimes because I can't add another wrestling show in my busy life. Yeah. That's fair, that's fair. I only really watch... I mean, I wanted to watch the... what was it? I really wanted to watch Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. But I just didn't have the time, so I had to go and watch highlights. Why is it highlights are more insane to watch than the actual match? Not saying the match is bad, just saying that somehow the highlights just make it more better. I guess that's the point of a highlight. I don't really want... Yeah, it's just WWE and AEW at the moment, isn't it? For a lot of people. Which is a shame, because there's a lot of good wrestlers out there that we don't get to see as much. Because there's just not enough wrestling shows on TV. Or just enough time in the day. Highlights always feel better. Yeah, always feel better. Always feel better. There's a website called Watch... Yeah, I know of the website, Rory. I use that. That's what I use. I was saying earlier, that website winds me up when trying to watch pay-per-views, because it was the Elimination Chamber I tried to watch live, and it just kept buffering every 2 minutes, and I was so close to just going to bed after I threw the laptop out the window, but I was so close to going to bed. But that's what I use mostly for stuff. Other than that, you just go to YouTube and watch highlights if you really wanted. Where are we at? So we're at 2 hours. It's now quarter to 8. I could probably go for another hour. I wanted to do 4 hours, but I guess we could do a 3-hour stream for today.
Okay? It was almost really bad.
Spent more time talking and doing other stuff. But but with games like this anyway, I'm more thorough than other Twitch streamers and YouTubers, because they seem to try to rush for everything. Because right now, I can guarantee there's probably several YouTubers who are just doing the story and have skipped over all the side stuff, whereas I will do everything, because my instinct as a gamer is to do everything and not leave one stone unturned. So these streams could go on for weeks for all I know, but I prefer it that way. Hey, you okay? That was almost really bad. Thanks, but I'm fine. I can handle... No, let's not be rude, because he did help us, so thanks, but I'm fine.
Thanks for the assist, but I'm fine. It might not have looked like it, but I had things under control out there.
The voice actor for your character, I feel like I've heard his voice from somewhere. That's either an Impact wrestler, more than likely, but I feel like I've heard that wrestler that voice from somewhere. Because last year, LA Knight voiced, I think it was one of the NPCs of the game. And I know Eric Young voiced the, I think it was when you create your character in 2012. I'm pretty sure Eric Young was the voice of the character. Pretty sure I've heard the voice of this character from somewhere. So, blah, blah, blah. Highlights also about normally blah, blah, blah. I'm on Watch Wrestling. Unfortunately, nice seeing you. Well, thank you very much, Joe, for joining the stream. Glad you enjoyed it. You take care, buddy. And anyone else who's probably dipped in or out during the whole thing, thanks to you also for giving me your time and patience.
Really? It looked more like you were about to get flattened by a 1,000-pound safe. I respect you wanting to handle your own business, but I meant it when I told you I'd have your back.
Look, let's get this straight. I like to do things on my own. It's gotten me this far.
Take it from someone who's been here a while. That's not gonna cut it in WWE. And whether you want my help or not, I heard we're teaming together next week against Sammy and Ridge Holland.
For some reason I always thought you guys already knew I had a Twitch, but I guess I was wrong. I think Joe was the only one who knew. Oh, I don't even know how Joe knew. But for some reason I thought I told you guys already. Or at least showed you guys once before. Because I keep meaning to do this a bit more professionally, and then I just take long periods off. Has BCW and Baron Blade made an appearance? Not yet, but there is a BCW arena in the game, so I'm 100% certain he will make an appearance.
Fine. I guess we can team up for one night.
Do you want to talk strategy or anything?
I'll see you in the ring next week.
Why am I being such an arse to Gabriel? Even trying to be nice, my character's coming across as a bit harsh towards him. I don't like that. Dude literally came out and stopped a safe from landing on top of our heads. I don't like that we're being a bit distant with him. Shawn Michaels, after facing Sami Zayn and Ridge WWE next week on WWE Raw, Mavs 13 will get to choose how to defend his Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn. Why is Shawn Michaels making the match? Why isn't Adam Pearce doing this? Strange. Sami Zayn, seriously, why? The guy ambushed me and steals my title, and now he's calling the shots on how he gets to defend it. Might have to look into pursuing legal action again, this time against Shawn Michaels and WWE. Ha, hashtag justice for Sammy. Didn't he do that already? Pretty sure that he did that already, the gimmick of the justice for Sammy. Ouch. I wonder if Cole Quinn will appear again. I don't even think he... Did he appear last year? I'm pretty sure from videos I watched he appeared in 2K20. I don't think he appeared in the last year's game, so we might not see Cole Quinn again. Sadly enough.
Take a good look at the new face of WWE. It's The Lock.
It's weird how each story mode though is like set in the same universe. It doesn't like just reset. So like characters like Cole Quinn and Baron Blade still exist, regardless of the new installments. And even characters you create, so like in 2K19 where you create your character and they get called Buzz, which is the name, even Buzz still exists in the universe. Obviously you don't see the character because it was your created character from the game, so they're obviously not going to put like a created character in there to represent that character.
The Lock has been handed the keys to WWE. Is he
But
ready
characters
to
you
drive?
created still exist within the universe. You just don't see them. You hear about them, but you don't see them, which I find quite strange. I remember before the pandemic, I created my own arena and universe mode and created logos on Photoshop for my... I do that. I've done that for years. I've never done the Photoshop stuff, because I've never been good at that. I've always done that. I've always created my own show, created my own wrestlers, and made up my own stories.
220 pounds, Gabriel Slade.
Gentlemen, this has all the makings of an all-time classic match.
I mean,
and I fully
if
expect
a game
to
you can do what
deliver
you want, so
on
if you can do
promise.
that, do it. But you've always been good at the Photoshop stuff, Rory, I have to say. You're fantastic at it. If you look back at your old stuff compared to the current, up-to-date stuff you've done, I and many others can clearly see you've progressed beautifully in that area of expertise. And I very much appreciated all the old stuff you've made for me in the past. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Well, here comes the master.
Any point in letting his entrance play? Because if Twitch doesn't allow the music to play, there's no point in me letting the entrances play outright. I mean, watching his entrance is insane enough.
But he's also kind of a jackass.
It's just awkward because there's no music.
Say that word in Sammy's presence.
And I don't even think I can turn it on or off. I get it's a copyright system in place. I just don't think I can turn it on and off. If I was to turn it on... No, if I was to turn it off, I still don't think the music plays, because there's an option in the settings for... I think it's called streamer safety or something, I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure if you was to turn it off, it still won't let you play music for the stream, which is irritating.
A man who absolutely adores a fight.
I always forget this was his entrance from NXT UK, where he just walks down with like a baton.
At 253 pounds, Ridge Holland.
Holland, Bruce.
From some of the biggest names in British wrestling, but he now sits under the learning tree of
I
perhaps
have
the
Joe
best
around my
brawler
house
in WWE history.
with
A man you definitely
at the
don't want to
pay-per-views,
start
and
a
we play
fight with.
2-player on Universe mode. Awesome, that's cool. I'm actually looking forward to the Universe mode because it's a bit more in depth now. Like you can actually select how you want the cutscenes and stuff to play out. I'm looking forward to trying that out. I had that as a kid when I was creating my own characters and stuff. Oh, that would have been fantastic. I don't do it as much now, though, because it's too much time for me to do. Okay, team up with Slade and complete the match. Alright, so this is just basically win the match.
The Lock locked horns with Sami Zayn on his first night
Slade,
in WWE,
Slade.
and can't seem to shake Sami loose. Locked horns, huh? You
Don't know what Slade was doing. I had it
and the
covered.
Lock and Gabriel Slade need to get on the same page fast if they're going to have a chance against two of WWE's
We'll see
most
what
talented superstars.
we'll see what we get after this match, and maybe I'll call it an end
Here
there.
comes a tag and some tandem offense.
We'll see. Alright, so is this similar to last year? Do I only control... Okay, no, I can control both tag partners. I think last year, in the year, well, actually for the last 3 years, if you tagged in your partner, you were still in control of your created wrestler. You couldn't control your partner. Unless you physically went into the menu option and changed it. But now it seems I can control both me and Gabriel. Good, good.
Oh, just
Damn it, Sammy, get off me.
Ripping and tearing at the face. Tags him in.
Okay, just tag her in now. Oh! That was a brutal boot. Give it that. Boom, 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 boom. And knee for good measure.
Nice takedown. Off the ropes.
There's no real strategy except try to do that tag team thing where you just isolate the partner from the other.
Sent into the corner.
I'm going to try and build up Gabriel's signature to get a finisher. And once I hit both the signature and finisher, I will then tag myself back in. And then just do the same. Hit my signature and finisher, knock Sammy off the corner. Should be good. Sod off. Gabriel turn around at the perfect time for that. Sammy was calling for the tag. That was brilliant timing. Normally the game screws me on timing, but that, for the first time ever, it actually helped me. Bit of a crap signature, Gabriel. Alright, let's see what his finisher is. Better not be a submission, I'm gonna... Oh. Nice. The Slade runner, did you just call that? Okay. Right, let's tag me back in. Get myself a nice little... myself some momentum. No, oh no. So. Let me go. Let me go. Let go.
No quit whatsoever, raining down elbows and escaping the bear hug.
I pressed Y. Oh, for God's sake. All that hard work for nothing.
Oh, draping double axe handle.
Okay, so I just got... Now I've got to try and beat Sammy, lovely. I guess the main point is that Ridge is, like, battered enough to not help Sammy. Yes, got the Y. Ooh. Didn't expect a pin.
It's hard to believe, but it looks like he still has some look out.
Somersault plunge onto the floor. That is tossing your own body around without a care.
I don't know why he's leaping over the rope though. He'd be flying through the middle rope. Well, I would never be able to pull that off. I would never be able to fly over the ropes. I could fly through the ropes, probably never over it though.
Ripcord, lariat.
Awesome. Beat you down a little more. Perfect. I thought that was a signature. No, it's my it's my comeback or it's my resilience.
Zayn looking helpless to every attack. Now we're seeing some rare flaws in Sami Zayn's game plan.
Find out.
Down you go.
You know what? Oh no. He's not me down. Give me permission to tag Ridge in. Thank you. Get a frog splash. Nice. And because his head's more injured than his body. Black mass. Get a Ridge off of there. Perfect. That's all lined up perfectly. Victory. Nice. I assume Harry's now gone.
This right pairing can
okay, no, everybody's gone now. Alright.
This was a wonderful performance
okay,
tonight.
everyone's gone. Everyone's popped in and gone. Because of timing. Alright. Okay, let's... Well, hang on. Let me just read quick. Yeah, okay. Okay, I didn't miss much then, so... Seems everybody's gone off. Thank you, Harry and Rory, for the follows. Thank you, Harry, Rory, and Joe for jumping in and getting the chat going. That was amazing, guys. Thank you for your time and your patience. Thank you for joining me. That was quite nice of you all. Sorry the timing couldn't have been better for this, but it is what it is. I work with what I got. I guess if chat's died down, then maybe I will kind of end it there for a bit. Let's just see what happens though when I continue.
So, these interviews for the doc will be quick and easy. It's just like we're having a conversation.
I've seen these before. I get it.
Okay, good. So, a lot to catch up on. You debuted on Raw, won the IC title, almost got squashed by a half-ton safe, but then were rescued by an unlikely ally in Gabriel Slade.
I appreciated the assist, but I wouldn't go as far as to say we're allies.
Why are you being such an arse
Okay,
towards
let's
Gabriel,
not get
man?
hung up on semantics. Nonetheless, Sami Zayn was not happy that Shawn Michaels gave you the choice of how you'll defend your Intercontinental Championship. Is there any merit to Sami's complaints?
I know I'm new here, but I also know that Sami Zayn will find a way to complain about anything.
That's true. I once heard him complain that the production crew's box dinners were bland and uninspired.
Really?
Oh, okay, that was me. But you get the idea. Anyway, what's your choice for the rematch against Sami? And give me some flavor, if you don't mind.
Oh, I get to choose. Right. So we can have a steel cage match, we can have a last man standing match, or we can have a ladder match. Right. I'm more inclined to a ladder match because it's the Intercontinental title. That championship has history within ladder matches within WWE. So it's only fitting to defend that championship within that type of a match. That's why I'm leaning towards more of that. I would go for a last man standing, but I don't know what the pin system's going to do with that, because I remember you'd have to do when you get pinned, you had to do the exact same thing in last man standing matches. You'd have to tap A or whatever. So I think that would be the same as flicking the analog stick up. So if Sammy beat me down enough, I'd think I'd struggle the first time it would pop up. Steel cage would be fun. I've never had issues with steel cages. But a ladder match, I'm more inclined for that. Just because of the history of a ladder match and the Intercontinental Championship that goes hand in hand together, why not? It's a perfect little combination, so I'm going to go with a ladder match for this.
Sammy wants to talk about privilege. Well, he's going to have the privilege of having a 10-foot ladder jammed down his throat.
Boom! Mic drop.
Biff, that's a bit violent. I mean, I wanted to be known as the Punisher of wrestling, but that is violent to try and jam a ladder down someone's throat. I like it though. I like it. It fits the character I want to go for. Are we having it now?
It's the future of WWE, The Lock.
Oh, crap. I didn't realise we were having it now.
The following contest is a ladder match.
Right,
The WWE
I was hoping it would take me back to the main hub, so that I could...
to the ring from London, England, weighing in at 160.
I was hoping it would take me back to the main hub, so I could then
Intercontinental Championship is always hotly contested.
make the choice of like
has never been this
backing out and then
Winning this prestigious title puts you in the same breath as many WWE Hall of Famers.
alright, I guess I'll play a bit of a shame, because now everybody's practically left the chat. And I've got nobody watching live at the moment. And this is like a big match, so great. What a big match this could have been. Very entertaining to watch. And everyone's all gone. Damn it.
Hey, the self-proclaimed locker room leader.
Well, I'll have you know many proclaim Sammy as the locker room leader, Cole. I'd follow this man to the ends of the earth.
And his opponent from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds.
I guess I'll play this. See if it lets me finally back out. And then finally I'll call it there. I mean, 2.5 hours in, this will probably go 3 hours now. We'll see how we go. Okay, Sami Zayn versus Maverick, or The Rock, should I say. Now, ladder match for the IC title. Yay. I think I got this. I think I got this, guys. I think I can definitely do this.
What an atmosphere for the Lock's premium live event debut. And what a matchup as the Intercontinental Champion defends his title against his biggest nemesis in WWE, Sami Zayn.
Biggest nemesis in WWE? Who's the Lock's second biggest nemesis? Give me a break, Cole. The guy just got here like 10 minutes ago. Well, he's already made more of a mark in the ring in 10 minutes than you did in 10 years, Corey.
Let's get him up. Let's go for my favourite move. Oh, he saw it coming. Okay. Oh,
Snap suplex.
I swear it doesn't give you enough time to hit
Heads
Y.
out and he has all the time he wants.
Okay. Here we go.
He climbs into the ring.
Oh, yeah, thought I missed that, but I've got it. Headbutt. And over the shoulder. Boom.
Side
There we
suplex.
go.
Nice.
Love to see it. That ladder. Can I strike him with this? I can. Good.
Sami Zayn starting to struggle. He's getting it set up in the corner. And I assure you, he plans on using it as a weapon here. Good night.
What can I do with that ladder in the corner? Can I do some real damage with that?
He's in a bad way right now, guys.
He has got to find a way to get out of the ring and regroup.
And that was an effective attack, guys.
Nice. Okay. I was expecting to pick him up and throw him into it, but I'll take what I can get.
A continuous rush on Sami Zayn here.
The Lock isn't holding anything back.
Great wherewithal on the counter.
Yeah, I definitely should turn this. Definitely should turn the difficulty up
Gets caught with a counter.
just a bit more. 'Cause I'm not feeling much of a challenge.
Timely counter by Zayn.
Counters on counters. Technical prowess on display.
Sling blade.
Mounting a downed opponent. Look at them go. Over and over and over again. And a
Another
slap
beat him down.
Beautiful arm wringer applied. Beautiful back
Ooh,
kick.
can I?
And the
Hang on.
Lock's maintaining the
This is
advantage there.
probably going to be the dumbest thing I've done. I mean,
vicious running knee lift.
Getting that ladder set up nicely.
Right in the center of the ring, Michael.
Kick right to the leg.
fuck's sake. Hey.
Taking it outside
Right,
the ring
I
now.
wanted to. Oh, he's getting a chair. He's frustrated with me. That's pretty cool.
Quick return to the ring.
That's pretty cool that an AI. I don't know if he's done that.
Lock is proving hard to keep up with.
That's actually that's kind of cool that he went and got the chair from the announcer area. That's sort of realistic to what a WWE superstar would do on television. That's pretty cool. I thought I missed that. That's brilliant. Okay.
Climb, go for it, climb.
Yep, that's it. Oh, he's moved. That'll do.
Shaking impact delivered from up on high.
All the way from the top of the ladder. And just like that,
Okay,
he sent
let's
crashing
just
to
go
the
for the
floor.
title now.
Climbing the ladder now. Oh no. I think we all know what's next.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Okay, got it. Got it.
Look at us
Got
steal
it.
a win here. This is highway robbery.
Okay.
Starting to come to their
Oh.
feet.
Yep, that's it. Can I win this before he gets back in the ring?
We go.
Bitch. Can I? Yes! Even when he was in the ring.
Can still hold the title above the competition.
And still,
Here is your
your
winner,
Intercontinental Champion,
WWE
me.
Intercontinental Champion, Maverick.
What an emphatic
Okay.
victory, guys. No
So,
contest.
I'll have a little.
Barely a moment's
I'll have a bit of a
suspense.
practice
This one
off
was
stream.
about as lopsided as they
I'm
come.
definitely going to have to put the difficulty up one more because I'm not feeling the challenge. Playing through the showcase, it felt a lot harder on just the hard difficulty, but I think maybe they deliberately make it harder for John Cena because it's obviously John Cena. So I'll definitely have to put the hard difficulty up one more because it needs to be done, otherwise this is going to be boring. I want a challenge. I want to feel a challenge. Otherwise, it's boring for me to play through it, and it's obviously going to be boring for those of you watching. Like, you don't want to watch someone who's just easily breezing through it, do you? You want to watch someone who's actually fighting hard to complete the challenge. Rebel Heart. Awesome. Okay. Better safe than sorry. Shawn. Okay, so we got Shawn Michaels, Mustafa Ali, The Miz. Okay. Okay. Right. And obviously I've got some, yeah, social media things to look at. But that is going to be... Let me just check. I can have changed the difficulty from here the whole time. But I'm not going to do it right yet, just yet. But there was proof that I was on the hard difficulty. Just to show again, I'm on hard difficulty. Didn't really feel like much. So I might just put it up one more to Legend. Give it a little practice off stream. But we have been... Not exactly 4 hours, but we've been 2 hours in. Well, over 2 hours anyway. Almost 3 hours. We've been 3 hours in. So... Glad I finally got around to doing that. Finally glad I talked myself into doing it tonight. It's been actually fun playing this. It's interesting, to say the least. I'm really liking the look of it. They've really stepped it up from last year. And I like that. I really like that. I'm not feeling the lock gimmick. But again, maybe that'll change. I'm hoping to get my original ring attire and original entrance that I made into this, but we will see. But that is the plan for next time. Next time is to move the hard difficulty up to legend difficulty and continue more of the story. We have now passed the... Ooh, hello, hello. Interesting. So we've finished... Oh, hang on a minute. 5 out of 13. Well, this is going to be a short... This is going to be short. Of a story mode. Unless there's more after this. I mean, I understand that there is more. Oh, what was the word I was going for here? I understand there's more. If you make certain choices. But 13. 5 out of 13. I hope there's more. I hope more unlocks as I'm playing, because that's going to be a short story otherwise. But we've completed Better Safe Than Sorry, 2 a days, 9 lives, 9. Finishing Schooled, and Drew's Rules. And now we've got Les Mis, Unfinished Business, Boudrop, Ali's Well That Ends Well, and Know Your Role. Now, Know Your Role makes me think The Rock. So maybe I'm right. Maybe because The Lock sounds similar to The Rock, maybe we're about to have a bit of a confrontation. We shall see. But as far as this has gone, I am still the Intercontinental Champion. Still going strong. I am now 4-0, 5-0. The Baron Corbin match did not count. Do not give me grief. It did not count. It was untelevised. It was in the Performance Centre. Does not count. Anyway, so that was fun. Glad to do that. I'm looking forward to continuing this in the next stream. This will be going up on my YouTube channel. I'll probably have to I'll either upload it in full or I'll edit some bits out. I'm still deciding, but that should be going up Monday or Tuesday. We'll see. We shall see. But anyway, that is all I have the time for. I mean, I could go for another hour, but I kind of need to get on with other things. I was originally going to do this earlier, ended up doing it later. It is what it is. But that is all the time I have. Thank you for giving me your time, for giving me your patience. Thank you for joining me. It's been real fun, and it's been a real good time. And I hope to keep those vibes for next time. I mean, I'm not really good at intros, as you may have seen at the beginning, and I'm not really good at outros, clearly, but I hope to improve that. Again, gonna move this up. I keep saying it again and again. I'm actually just wasting time. I'm just trying to pad out the time, I guess. get to the 3-hour mark, which I'm not going to reach. But yeah, the next plan is to play this again, continue on with the story, move the difficulty up another notch, because that's just not a challenge. It really is not a challenge, which is very disappointing. But anyway, as I was saying, thank you for joining me. Thank you for giving me your time and your patience. It's been fun, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.